We're building a house here on the side of a mountain in Panama, and today we're finally going vertical.
Oh, baby!
We're finally starting on building the columns of our house. These columns are going to be made out of concrete, and they're going to be huge. And in order to hold in all that concrete while it cures, we're going to need to build some forms, and we're going to be doing that out of plywood.
Some of these columns are upwards of 16 feet, and we have 32 of these to build. And this part is so crucial because these are the things that are actually going to be holding our house up. So this is going to be quite the challenge, and there's a lot of pressure here to make sure we do this right.
Let me tell you the good news though.
What's the good news?
We got no experience doing this.
So why is that
I don't know. All right, let me take that back. We've built columns before, but the biggest one we've ever built is 1.5 feet tall.
1.5 feet?
Yeah, these are 16
times. I've literally been asking Jordan this for weeks. I'm like, how the heck are we gonna do this? How are we gonna build a column that high and get the concrete in, especially without a concrete truck that has one of those fancy smancy like funnels that like perfectly direct the concrete where it needs to go. Yeah, we don't have that. We're gonna be using a wheelbarrow and a shovel. And honey, I still haven't gotten an answer from you. He's like, trust me, honey, trust me. And I can't wrap my mind around how this is gonna actually work. I'm
still trying to figure it out as we speak. Don't worry, we'll figure it out.
Are we gonna figure it out? Let's hope so.
All right, let's try to think how we're gonna number these, because I think what we should do is we should always go from facing the workshop. The only thing I know, honey, is we're gonna have to build this in sections. So the idea is to build it in 4-foot sections, going all the way up, and do it one section at a time. And we have to fill each section with concrete.
Let it dry.
No.
No.
No, we gotta do it all at the same time. So we gotta fill it up and then put the next section.
Oh my gosh. My question is, how the heck are we gonna pour the concrete that high?
No, we're just gonna pour it up to here. You see, we're gonna build this, fill this with concrete, and then put the next one and fill it with concrete.
I know, but how do we even get into that tippy top up
easy.
there?
Big ladder. All right, here we go. These boxes are about ready to go. But what I need to do is cut the tops of all of these rebar columns to the same height. If you look, they're kind of like all varying in different heights. So I put the laser level on the top of this column here, and I'm gonna first cut this column and then just work my way all the way down right at that green line that's getting cast along these columns. Because these columns are going to be so tall, I'm going to add in some blocking to each of these sections. Just kind of like this, just to help strengthen them up a little bit. This box kind of looks dilapidated a little bit, but it's strong. And that's all that matters. As long as it's strong, it's square, it holds concrete until it cures, we're good. We're trying to block off all these holes for where the seismic beam goes so none of the concrete leaks out. We know we're gonna get a little bit leaking out, but we're trying to limit that as much as possible. Listen, all you masons out there, you guys that pour foundations for a living, I'm sorry. This is my first time doing this. I'm trying my best. Shout out to you masons out there, shout out to you guys who pour foundations, because whew, you would have no idea how long it takes to just build a concrete form. All right, here we go. There's no turning back now. Well, I've been getting this form put together. The guys have been mixing up some concrete. We're gonna start filling up this form. Now we need to fill this form up with concrete, and it's gonna be quite a lot of concrete just to get this section full. Then we need to build another section that goes on top of it, and then another section to go up on top of that. This is gonna be a lot. It's 1 o'clock right now, and we'll see how late it takes for us to do all this. This first one's been sloppy to say the least. The form's starting to like bust open on the seams a little bit, You see that right there? We have to make sure that there's wood in the middle of the form too. It's always the first one that I feel like I need to like do and make a mess of to learn. And I feel like I've learned a lot on this but one box. We got a lot more boxes to go, but with it being a foundation, it's like, you really don't want to mess too much stuff up. And with this, we're not gonna really know what's going on until we take the form off. So I'm just gonna leave it like it is for now and just keep going. There's nothing else that you can do with concrete. You can't like sit there and just like worry about it. You just gotta keep going because the concrete's actively curing. So we gotta keep going. We're going with box number 2 right now. You guys are screwing it together and we're gonna get it up and get it in place. Así ves más deseo para solo pasarme la pala. Sí. Cuidado. Un momento. The good thing is this one's a lot smaller. 3, 2. Ay. Ay. Ay, mami. While the appearance of the form doesn't matter all that much, the only thing I can promise you guys is the next one will be more beautiful. There's no reason for it to be this ugly. This was just us trying to figure things out. But the third and final section of the column is now up there, which putting this whole thing together has also just been terrifying. But it's done now, and we just need to fill up these last 35 inches with concrete. And this is gonna be the hardest part. By the way, that's where our house starts. Also, by the way, I have a fear of heights. So we have 2 stories on top of there. I'm not excited for that.
You just want to wear socks in the market today? No shoes? Sade and I are doing our bi-weekly farm chore pickups. So we got to get all the cow food, the chicken food, the dog food. And we usually come and do this probably about every 2 weeks, and I usually spend about $150 on all of that. So all the food for basically all the animals on the farm. I'm actually so bummed that I wasn't able to be here to see this whole column pouring thing go down, but Karen wasn't able to make it today. So I was on mom duty all day today, and we were out and about doing errands. She had school today. Is it in? Perfect. But one thing I am so excited for, and I've been dying to do this for the last couple weeks, we have all of these tomatoes that we just harvested from our garden. I have a bunch more over here too. And I've never made tomato sauce before, other than from like canned tomatoes. So this is gonna be the first official time that we make some homemade pasta sauce right here from Lola's farm.
What's here? Thank you. Wait. Lay down. Wait. There you
Good job, honey. I'm gonna party like it's your birthday.
I'm good, see?
Yeah, you are really good at that. Okay.
Can I do it?
Yeah. Ready? Turn this button.
Just a little.
Yeah. Nice and slow. Go ahead, push that up and down. Woohoo! Homemade tomato sauce, baby.
Baby. I'm very busy. We're doing our school.
We're doing Spanish?
Spanish.
Say, hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Do you remember how to say daddy in Spanish?
Papa.
How do you say blue?
Azul.
Yeah. How do you say red? Yeah. How do you say yellow? That's a little bit of a tricky one, huh?
Amarillo.
No. Now that is one big column. 16 feet up in the air. Oh my goodness. And just to think, we're gonna have to put a 20-foot tall I-beam on top of this going straight up in the air. That'll be a problem for another day. We just gotta keep going on these columns, one column at a time, and the pace that we're going at right now, basically a column takes a whole day, which is a lot. Today, I'm actually leaving the farm. I'm going to a place that no one ever really goes. I'm going deep into the jungle, to where the Nomadic tribe of Panama lives. I love spontaneous adventures like this, but we got an opportunity to do something that I'm super excited to share with you guys. And I'm gonna leave Sadie and Kaylee behind for this one, because not only is it an incredibly long drive, but I'm expecting it to be pretty dangerous. All right, I got my two guys with me. I got Enrique and I got Iberto with me. Anytime I go to the comarca, I bring these guys with me because I'm a foreigner, I'm an outsider, and I can really only get in if I have these guys with me, and they're just gonna help make all this possible. Listo, chicos! We're just stopping quickly to fill up on gas, because I don't know how far we're gonna have to go. But part of the problem is we can't figure out where we're going on GPS. If you guys look, this is where we are right here, and where we're going is way off into the jungle. You see where it says Conquitu? Right there? We're going there. And if you plug that into GPS and look for directions, it only gives you walking directions. It says you cannot get there by car. But I guess these guys know a way, so we'll see how we do. This is where it's about to start getting interesting. We've been driving for about an hour and a half. ¿Cuánto horas más, bro?
Posibles 2 horas.
2 horas? That means it's gonna be 4 hours. Just watch. You know when you see a sign like that, you're in for an adventure. We're just taking a quick little bathroom break here, but we are driving deep into the comarca right now. We've been going, it's 12:30. And we left at 8:30. So we've been going for 4 hours so far, and we still got a little bit of a ways to go. But if you're wondering where we're going, we made connection with a coffee farmer in the comarca that I've never met before. And we're always trying to support the people of the Nomadic tribe as much as possible by buying their coffee, paying as good of a price as we possibly can. But the biggest problem is it's so hard to communicate. We're going to meet up with a guy today named Lucho, and how we've communicated with him so far is Enrique would have to travel here by bus and basically like communicate with him the things that we want to say. He would communicate with Enrique and come back, and we have to do that because they don't have any electricity here. They don't have any electricity, they don't have any internet, they don't have any cell phone service. They are just deep in the jungle. We're trying to go there today to fix that. And I'm so excited for this because I think this is actually one of those days that could actually make an impact. All right, so we just pulled in, and I just want to say a couple things before we go in here. Number one, my intention of making this video isn't to try and provoke a reaction out of this family and exploit them for a good video. I'm like super sensitive to that, because I think while helping someone get electricity for the first time is a big deal, the last thing that I want to do is exploit these people. Like, my sole intention here is to help. So I'm going to go in and meet the family first and ask them if it's okay to film and talk to them a little bit and try and just do this as respectfully as possible. Also, something to know about the Nomadic tribe is they are people of very few words. Spanish isn't their first language, it's their second language. Their first language is called Nobe, and Spanish is my second language too. So the communication's gonna be really tough. And what I've seen from the Nobe people is they are very reserved and people of very few words and very little emotion. So like I said, my goal is not to try to provoke some emotion for a video. That to me that just isn't who I am. Entrada or no? Espere? Enrique's going to talk to the guy. We're in a little community here in Conquitu. And there's just all these little houses around here, a little community center here. Everywhere you look, there's little kids picking their heads out the window. I don't know if you can see this kid right behind me here. But it's like when someone pulls into town, it's like everyone's looking at what's going on. If you look around here, you'll see no electric lines, no water lines, no internet lines, no TV lines.
Lucho Abrego.
Lucho. ¿Qué es el nombre?
El nombre
¿Su familia?
Esa es mi señora.
¿Cómo se llama?
Yariela.
Lucha y Ariana.
Yariela.
Yo trabajo con esta marca. La marca es Anchor. Este es típico para un sistema, este es un sistema de electricidad. Este ayuda a ustedes con conectar sus celulares para usar luz. Este tiene mucha electricidad y yo entiendo usted tiene problemas con comunicar con personas para vender su café.
Acá no hay señal, ¿no?
Sí, ¿cuántas horas necesitas salir para
Allá en el cerro, allá arriba, ¿ves?
allá?
Sí, allá donde que se ve montaña allá arriba. Sí,
Necesitas ir al alto de esta montaña.
Sí, sí, para agarrar señal.
Para servicio.
Sí. Sí.
Ok. Tengo una solución para ustedes.
Tiene que llevarlo entre dos.
Here we go. We're going up to their house right now to connect everything. Dale, chicos. ¿Así su casa acá? ¿Su construirse?
Sí, acá.
Muy bonita, huh? This is their solar system here right now to charge their phone. And a solar flashlight too. We just got here to Lucho's house. This is his house right here, and we're gonna get the system all set up. We're gonna connect him up with a solar panel, a generator, Starlink so we can have internet, and we have a whole electrical system from Anker. We have the Anker Solix F3800 Plus, and we're gonna be connecting all that up right now. Wow, look at all this. And this is some of their coffee right here drying out in the sun. This is how they do it here. They hand pick it all, put it out to dry just like this. This is called the natural process. And why I want to work with these guys is they're trying to build a coffee business, but they can't communicate with anyone. They don't have any way to talk to anyone they want to sell their coffee to. And they have to climb all the way up to the top of that mountain to get a little bit of service. So I'm hoping that with all of this, it can help them run a better business and build like a real coffee business with real customers that they can talk with. We have a 400-watt solar panel that we just hooked up to the system. Anker gave us this Solix F3800 Plus, and we wanted to give it to these guys because I feel as a fellow entrepreneur trying to build a business how hard it is. By being able to put out a ton of electricity, this thing can put out 6,000 watts. By being able to bring in a whole solar system, and not only that, but connect it to a generator, be able to recharge the whole system in just a few hours, that's a game changer. And I feel like that's something that can help out so much. By plugging the F3800 Plus into a generator, it can recharge so fast. Look, it's getting 3,500 watts an hour right now. Right now I'm getting everything set up for him on the Solix app. So there's a bunch of different inputs. You have the generator input to recharge it via generator. You have an AC input, which we're not going to use because you use this to recharge this unit from your house. But we do have a DC input because we need to connect the solar panel. Okay. Bonita, huh? We're getting everything set up in their side room here. We just plugged in the solar panel now. I want to show you guys the ladder that they have here. This is how they get up on the roof. Just a couple of sticks that they tied to a couple pieces of wood, and that's what they're using to climb up there. These guys are climbing up on the roof now to install the solar panel. And the great thing is the Anker knows how to prioritize that electricity. So if your battery is low, it's going to be recharging your battery. But if you're pulling a charge, it's going to use your solar first. And that's a way to save money. It's really common for this Anker system to be used as a home power backup. So if the power in your house goes down, the system can basically like switch over and run your whole house. So for these guys, they're gonna basically use it to run their whole house. The F3800 can run refrigerators, washing machines. It can most likely run all the appliances in your house at the same time because it can put out 6,000 watts, or you can put two of these systems together and it can put out 12,000 watts. So then it can definitely run everything in your house. And even with just that one solar panel, they can run internet, they can have lights, they can charge all their cell phones and communicate with people. And Lucho can work with coffee buyers to sell his coffee and run his business. We took the money that Anker gave us for the sponsored video and put it towards buying these guys Starlink and paying for internet for them, unlimited internet for them and this whole community here for a whole year. So just a huge thank you to Anker for allowing for all this to be possible and for everything that we can do for this community here. We also got him a generator to help recharge the F3800 for when it's raining and a 300-watt solar panel. And the thing is, this system could take an additional 10 of these solar panels. So these guys can keep upgrading their solar system. Okay, we're done here. The system is installed. These guys have the same amount of electricity as many of you guys have in your house. So I'm so stoked for them and for all the people here that they can now charge their phones, their laptops, do work that they need, go to school online, whatever they need to do. The house where the electricity and the Starlink installed is right there, and from right here, we're getting 40 megabytes of download. And when I asked Lucho if he wanted to put a password on the Starlink, he said, no, I want to let the whole town use it. I want everyone to be able to connect to the internet. And now they're going to. It's almost like the perfect spot, like his house is way up on the hill and the internet gets all through the town. I'm just so stoked for this. All right, you guys, mission accomplished. We are heading out of here. I just want to say thank you to Anker for letting me do this. Doing this just means so much to me, and then this is one of those things that I think could make a real impact. Like, there's a town here now that has internet, it has electricity, it has the ability to charge phones and talk to people and communicate, to get jobs, to go to school. I don't think that we know kind of where it's going to go from here. It's really up to them on how they're going to use it. But at least there's potential now for a community of people to work towards uplifting themselves even just a little bit. And that's basically all I really wanted to do. And if we didn't have this, and we also didn't have Anchor, none of this would be possible. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if any of you guys out there are looking for a battery bank, check out Anchor. So if you check out the link down in the description below and grab yourself an Anchor Solix F3800 Plus, that's the unit that we gave to these guys, you will get a free 400 watt solar panel for your Solix unit totally for free. So thank you so much, Anchor. Check them out down in the description below. We love you guys, and we're heading back home now.
We have so much going on here at Lola's farm right now. I feel like there's like 15 projects happening at once. But now that we have the first column poured for our house, we have to keep making seismic beams. In order to pour this next column right here, we need to have another seismic beam going right this way. So Enrique over here is on rebar bending duty, and then the rest of the guys over here are actually putting all of the seismic beams. And the thing is, as much as I would love to be bending some rebar right now, we have 3 weeks, almost exactly 3 weeks until our wedding weekend begins. And these stairs, they are not even close to being done yet. We do have this bottom half of the stairs completely done. We're now starting to move on to the top half, so which is the biggest part. But first we need to do this kind of landing pad right here, and we actually want to extend it out this way a little bit, so when we walk down, it's not like a super down, like super far down drop. We kind of can easily and seamlessly walk down into the pathway here. This is the path that all of our workers come through when they walk to work. So we want it to look a little nice. Right now, definitely doesn't look nice. So I just put 2 loads of sand down here. I might need 1 more, but before I keep going, I'm gonna go get the tamper, tamp this down a little bit. But this is basically just to fill in this spot so that the ramp goes down a little bit more smooth to that section over there. But let's go tamp it up. Let's get the tamper.
I got the guys working overtime these days. They usually finish up at 3, but all the way from now till the wedding, they're gonna be working till 6. And for the last 3 hours, they're helping me out with the front yard here. Because all this rock, all this stonework is a lot. So right now, I'm working on laying the stone for this little landing here. I'm working on expanding it from here over to the jungle area there. Iberto's working on the drainage, so you can see they're pouring concrete and working on this space and the drainage that's gonna go all the way along the staircase and eventually like runs under the deck and kind of all the way over there. And some of the other guys are working on the stone wall of the garden bed. We're moving along, and we have to, because we're at 21 days from today. And this is gonna come quick, and there's still a ton to do before we have 100 people up here to our farm.
I had already paid it.
When you're watching this and you see all this time lapse and you wonder the things we're talking about, just know the only thing that's allowed to be talked about is wedding stuff.
That's not true.
Flower colors, flower sizes, gifts, lighting.
We
seating
already
plans.
figured all that out. But yeah, the seating plan we still gotta figure out.
That's the only thing that's allowed to be talked about around this staircase.
That is not true.
That's the only thing we've talked
It's the only
about.
thing that I like to talk about in these next coming weeks. I don't know, honey. I think I'm pretty good at this. You know me. I love my tedious tasks.
If you want, you could get up at 5 a.m. every day and finish up the next 21 stairs behind you so we can get this all done before our wedding. Because that's what I was planning on doing.
I'm gonna be right here with you, sweetie.
But I don't know, you guys, this front yard is looking really nice. So like, this is one of the like passive good things about having a wedding is we have to make our farm look great, and it's coming together. We're ripping through this right now. I really should say Kaylee's ripping through this right now. We're almost done with this step, and then we have to continue it down here into the jungle. In the meantime, gotta go and check on the guys because they're installing the seismic beams, and they're installing some massive seismic beams right now. Terminé? That's like a 20-foot seismic beam. That thing is huge. Look how good this is looking. And later on today, we're taking this form off, and I'm praying That looks good underneath. I feel like the system that we have in place is working so well. Basically, I'm like setting the tone on how we're gonna do each thing. And you know, I built the first seismic beam, then I built the second one with them. And now these guys are off to the races. And the beams that they're building are prettier than the original one that I built. Like when it comes to the little details, these guys are incredible.
Look, sweetie. Snuck up on her. Chickens usually don't ever let us hold them, but they're so cute sometimes.
I think you're turning into, you know, it's like the crazy cat ladies. You're turning into like the crazy chicken ladies.
Yeah. Sade and I are gonna go on a mission to try to find a nice new plant to put right here. So this tree, it's crazy. It actually was kind of beautiful. That's why we left it here for so long. And then just in the last few months, it just kind of shriveled up and died on us. So we're gonna chop that down, dig out the roots, and find a really nice, beautiful plant or tree to put right here. All right, this tree is coming out. Should we put a plant here? It looks nice just having nothing. You can see the house. Figured we go with the whole, you know, tropical vibe and get a different version of a palm.
Do you know what this tree is?
What tree is it?
That one, that's not a tree.
That's the Canary Island date palm.
It makes dates.
No, it grows 70 feet tall.
All right, so we're gonna have to push it this way a little bit.
I think you have to move it a lot that way.
70 feet, how big? No, that's crazy!
That gets to 70 feet tall.
Yeah, maybe in 70 years. Wow, that looks beautiful.
Just like that?
Yeah, I think that's
Stick a
pretty
little
good.
dirt in there so it doesn't fall.
There's a lot of palm going on. Is it too much palm?
You like it, Sade? If Sade approves, I approve, honey. The last project of the day, removing the big concrete form. This is one of the projects in a while that I've been very unsure of.
You got a long way to go, honey. That's a lot of screws.
A lot easier taking them off than putting them in, I'll tell you that.
Go ahead,
Oh,
honey.
honey, the first part's nice.
Woo, that looks really nice under there.
That's not what I'm that worried about though, it's the bottom.
You're worried about the bottom, I know. Beautiful, woo!
Ah!
Man, that thing is huge, honey. What the heck? We're gonna be putting our house on the top of this pillar. That's gonna be the floor of our house. That's terrifying. Is that Sadie language for... Honey, it's good! You a happy boy? Honey, it's looking good on this side too.
Looking good on all sides.
Good, honey. We're also going to be putting what they call rapeo here. Is that just here in Panama, or is that like
I think they call it skim coating in the States.
Okay, so yeah, it's basically just the coating that we're going to put on the outside of it to make it look really cohesive and nice and beautiful. You can tell just by looking at it, it looks all super even, barely any little like bubbles or little imperfections. Woo!
Honey!
It's looking good, sweetie.
Just gotta take a step back and look at it, honey.
Take a step back and look at it.
We're doing it, honey.
We're doing it! We're building a house, Rod! It's coming together, baby!
I am really proud of this one, you guys. Look how cool that looks right here. That was a tough one, and I feel like I have so much understanding on how to do these now. I was worried about that one, but now, man, I'm going into this with full confidence. We got 31 more columns to go. And tomorrow we're starting on column number 2, and I'm freaking ready for it. Let's freaking go, I'm ready for it. Before we go, I just wanna leave you guys with this. You know that Starlink that we installed? We installed that about a week ago now. And in 1 week, that town, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. They use 270 gigabytes of data. That's so much. Like, Kaylee and I use less than 50 in over a month. And now, granted, this is a whole town, whole community of 50 people. But man, am I stoked that they're getting their use out of it. And I'm just so pumped about all of that. And I hope we can do more of that. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for helping make all this possible. This video, our dreams, our home, everything that we're doing here. Thank you guys. We love you. And we'll see you on the next one.